Hello everyone! In this video, I want to show you how you can add details to your model and sewing patterns made with Plushify. Let's jump right in. This is the model of my dinosaur raptor Ruby. I've already marked the seams, named them pattern pieces, set the fur direction and assigned the fabrics I want to use. Next up, I want to add some embroidered details like eyes or nostrils, maybe try out some fur patterns or add sewing helpers. This is where the details section comes into play. So what are details? Details are everything that you want to add to the pattern that does not influence the shape of the pattern pieces or seams. As you can see, the plushie has some blue stripes along the back and the arms. Those stripes are separate pieces using a different fabric than the red one. As such, we need a seam between the red and blue areas. You would need to set those seams in the seams area, not the details area. In contrast, when adding an eye, this is embroidered or placed on top of a pattern piece, but does not influence its shape. This is something you can do in the details section. So let's get started. For the eye, I have an image file which I can upload by clicking this Upload New Image button. Here it is. Now I can just click the Add Image to Plushie button and then on the model I click where I want to place the image. Now this does look slightly wrong because the image has the wrong rotation and size. But this is easily fixed. I can just click on it again and then rotate and resize it. This image feature is perfect for embroidery. If we look at the model in another section, we can see that the image sinks into the fur, similar to how an embroidery would hide the underlying fur fibers. If we have a look at the print preview of the pattern, we can see that the image we have placed is added to the corresponding pattern piece in the right position and orientation. When we print the pattern, we can use this to get the correct alignment for our embroidery. Let's get back to the details section and add some nostrils. For those, I do not have an image file, so I will use the drawing functionality to just draw on the model by clicking on the brush button. I can now draw on the model. With the controls here, I can adjust the pen size, the color, or clear all the drawings I made. So let's draw some small nostrils. Okay, this looks good. If we check the pattern, we see that the drawing also has been added to it. However, if we check out the model in the fabric section, we see that our drawing has changed the color of the fur and does not sink into it like the eyes do. To fix this, we can go back to the details section, and when drawing, we activate this Cut into Fur toggle. If we draw while this is active, the strokes will cut the fur, giving us the same result as placing the embroidery image. Let's see. There we go. Our drawn detail now correctly hides the fur in that place. Next up, let's add some fur texture to the horns fabric. Right now, in Plushify, fabrics are always one solid color. But for the horns, I want to use fabric that has some lighter dots on it. We can achieve this by using details too. So let's get back into it. Use the color picker to get the horn color, made it a bit lighter, increase our pen size a bit, and now we can add our pattern to the model. Because we did not activate the Cut into Fur toggle, these details will actually change the fur color. So we get a realistic preview of how the fur looks when we check it out in the size preview or use the augmented reality features. If we have a look at the pattern, we see that the dots we placed on the model now also show up there. You can leave it like this, but if you want to avoid this, you can toggle the Exclude from Printed Pattern switch. While this is active, details you draw will show up on the 3D model, but not on the printed pattern. So if we remove the dots and draw them again while this is active, we can see that they still show up on the 3D model, but the printed pattern piece is clean. But you can use this feature also for all other things you want to add to the pattern. Want to add a giant A to one piece? Just draw it on and it will show up on the pattern. But this is something you likely don't want to have on the visual plushie preview. So let's remove it again, toggle the Exclude from 3D Rendering button and draw it again. Now it shows up on the pattern, but is hidden from the preview of the model. Of course, in the details section it will still show up, so you can change or remove it if you need to. The last thing I want to show you, which is really powerful, you can draw some small lines over a seam. When we have a look at the pattern, these lines will form alignment markers. When you cut out the pattern and get to sewing, those lines can help you align the two pieces you need to sew together, especially on long or complex curves. And there you have it. By adding details to the model, you can improve your sewing pattern and make creating your dream plushie even easier. Stay creative and see you next time.